Our operations are measured by our KPIs. It is of utmost importance that our KPIs are met every year. Our daily measurables are recorded and reviewed on a weekly and monthly basis, and this is reflected in our monthly KPIs so that we can learn from them and figure out ways to do things better. Now, our man hours have improved over time given drilling operations and safe operations, and we're hoping that our KPIs will continue to rise and will continue to meet the set targets.
It's been 2 years since we had a very disastrous incident at BRVS. The incident of 7th of July 2020 is a once-in-a-lifetime disaster that none of us would like to have twice in our careers. That day, we lost 7 of our colleagues. May their souls rest in peace. 7 families lost their breadwinner, their fathers, their husbands, their sons, and their uncles working in our operation. That is very, very sad and something that we don't want to repeat. That's why we set aside 7th of July every year to stand down for safety, reflect on our processes, our behaviors, our safety culture, and how we show up. That is very important, and I'm very pleased that we have maintained a Go Zero since we had the inaugural session, in line with the commitment we made that day of BRVS Never Again. But it's not only voicing our commitments, we have to live it in our everyday lives. There have been some high potential incidents that should worry all of us in ELCREST. People not wearing PPEs or not following right procedures. That's why this year's theme of on the left side of the bow tie is quite apt. The left side of the bow tie is where we want to be. That is where we look at preventing incidents from occurring. And that's why we need to be at that position, at the left side of the bow tie. We need to maintain a heightened consciousness in all the activities that we execute. And as an organization, there must be standard operating procedures, process guides, and method statements for all our activities. Risk assessment must be conducted before we undertake any execution of activities. Our people must be given the right PPEs and trained in all safety critical activities. All personnel must be guaranteed stop work authority with leadership assurance of no victimization. And that's very important. Each person needs to know that they have the right to say no to any job they consider unsafe.
The 7/7/20 will stick in my memory, where there are 7 souls lost their lives and departed from their families, and we still think about those lost souls. It was a dark day in the history of ELCREST and SEPLOUT as well, and I'm glad to say since that time the team has worked assiduously to make the safety at the operations at OML 40 even safer every day. And so over the last 24 months, we've seen quite a big change at the company. We have had, first of all, 0 fatalities. We've had almost 4 million man hours without a lost time incident. And we've almost had 24 months without a spill. So the HSE performance of the company has changed dramatically since that very dark day 2 years ago. And if you look at the factors that led to the dramatically improved performance, first of all, I think videos like this make a big difference. So it's communication around the organisation. It's putting health and safety #1 on the agenda. We can't be safe in our operations. We shouldn't be doing any operations. So that's the first thing with communication. Looking at health and safety in everything we do. Looking at the procedures and policies the permit to work system, the recording, the look backs. Anytime there's an incident review panel which comes out with learnings, and those learnings are put through the organisation. And so all these things come together really to improve the performance, ensure that we have a lasting and safe working environment. A perfect HSE system is something you need to work towards on an hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis.
The bow tie is a simple way of visualizing risk, the impact of trends, possibly breaking through the barriers that we have put in place and causing a top event. On the right side of the bow tie is where we have recovery measures to recover from the top event. Obviously, not where we want to be. So we always want to be where? On the left side of the bow tie. So what does that mean, staying on the left side of the bow tie? So for the management and the leadership, it means committing and conducting the MFI, the management field inspections, as we have outlined and have in our schedule. It means we hold the IRP, the Incident Review Panel, as at when scheduled, and it means that LFI, the learnings from incident, from those IRPs, are cascaded to the organization and are used to pick up lessons that are vital to the improvement of the processes which we have in the system. It means that we conduct the quarterly contractor HSE forum, where we try to bring all of our contractors to the same level as we are. We know that a bond is as strong as its weakest link. So that's what it means for the leadership. What does it therefore mean for folks on the front line? It means, and I'd like to start with this, that PPEs are used at all times. It means that when they have been provided, and we know we provide those, they always have to be used. The personal protection devices, they have to be used at all times in our swamp operations.
It's of personal delight to me that we're having this day in ELCREST. I mean, in my 2 years here, we've had 2 safety days, right? And why it's of personal delight for me is that I can see the impact of those safety days. It's not just a day where we tick off the box we have to do. I see the impact rolling down, cascading to every team member, every personnel. I see the impact in how we do, how we work. I see the impact as a reminder that safety is paramount.
Since the past 24 months, ELCREST has put in place very strong measures to strengthen the lapses and the gaps that were hitherto causing the HSE pilferts that caused certain hazards and caused certain fatalities, particularly around the BLVS and the empty haircuts in the past. All of these measures have helped greatly to position ELCREST to conduct its operations in OMF 40, especially to ensure that such near misses and fatalities are avoided. And so far, I can say that I'm very proud of ELCREST for the measures that it has put in place. The monthly HSE meetings, even the contractual documentations that ensure that all the legal clauses that would protect the OMF 40 JV from having such issues have also been monitored from time to time, making sure that we walk the talk in the contracts.
What does being on the left side of the bow tie mean to me as an HR professional? It basically means to put controls in place to achieve goal 0, which is 0 LTI, 0 fatalities, and 0 spills on our operations. So, as an HR professional, we look at the employees, what could affect the employees' motivation towards their work. And what ELCREST has done in the past 18 months is put in place certain measures to ensure that employees are happy. We've given staff cost of living adjustments in the past couple of months. We put in place a salary structure, a job grading structure that the company didn't have previously, and also a bonus performance management system has also been put in place. We believe all of this put together will help our workers to remain focused and motivated while performing their daily duties.
After July 7, 2020, our way of working has taken up a new dimension. That is being refined in such a way that our jobs are executed safely. safety of operation, safety of delivery, safety to personnel and environment is number one. We ensure that before we carry out any particular project is broken down into tasks. The elemental part of the task fully analyzed, the risk inherent in each and every of them assessed, and proper barriers put in place before the job is sanctioned to be executed. With that in place, the personnel understands that they are going to deliver this particular work, not just to carry out a particular job, but to ensure that they do it safely. We pride ourselves in staying constantly on the left side of the bow tie. By being on the left side of the bow tie means we have not just the job, but we have functional and adequate barriers or controls to ensure that the top events never released. We have performed a lot of the tasks after July 7, 2020. Very risky operations, but all of these have been performed perfectly and safely. Doing our job safely, we understand, contributes not just to the production, but contribute to our happiness, contribute to the growth of the business, and contributes to national development as a whole. We will continue to ensure that we stay constantly on the left side of the bow tie.
I want to really talk about where we came from, especially looking at July 2020. We had a very mind-blowing incident where 7 personnel lost their life. We had to quickly come together as a team to ensure that we stick to all our operational safeties, focusing mainly to ensure that we are on the left side of the bow tie. And this includes putting in place a lot of safety precautionary systems. For instance, we have to put in place control measures like permit to work system, hazard identification, and ensure that even the workers or the contract personnel fully are integrated in the NPDC ELCREST safety culture. So we have already enshrined a lot of disciplinary measures like supervision, and also we have put in place measures like permit to work training was carried out, and safety normalization courses were carried out to ensure that these guys really stick to world-class safety standards. And we believe if all these are taken into consideration, never will incidents like fatality or even destruction of the environment or equipment damage, personnel injury will never occur. That's our goal, goal zero. Ensuring that operations in all our locations like BROVS, Betiokun Field, Okwama Field, the LACT unit operation where we have our LACT unit at Otumara, all these areas will deeply embed in their activities, operational, day-to-day operational activities, high-level safety culture to ensure that safety becomes a watchword. It becomes part of the operations from inception, and when a project is conceptualized, safety processes are embedded onto it, basically to ensure that safety all the way. So what is our target? Goal zero.
The important thing, which is ably led by our MD, is the constant reminder, constant reminder and reiteration of the importance of safety, and making sure that the way we work, we fully understand that right from when we initiate any activity, and in particular to us, for everything that is commercial, even to contracting, we already identify, emphasize, and we also make sure that we are covered in terms of safety. We're also able to pass this on to our different vendors, to fully understand from the onset the importance of taking safety and safety practices on board in any operation. We have increased our levels of supervision, we have increased our level of engagement, we have increased our level of awareness. We have what you could call heightened awareness to any safety-related issue, to the extent that people out there on the field have been sufficiently empowered to be able to put stop to any activity that may have any undesirable safety implication.
The typical bow tie in men's fashion. The bow tie analysis or the bow tie tool is a risk assessment tool. And on the left side, just like the typical bow tie, is where you have your controls. And on the right side, when there is a loss of control, that is where you have your events, incidents, and what have you. So we have chosen to remain on the left side of the bow tie because over the course of the last 24 months, the company has succeeded in maintaining goal zero. Zero fatality, zero LTI, and zero spill. And this is a record which we are proud of. This is a record which we want to sustain. And we could not have achieved this without the unalloyed support of management. And again, our entire workforce has been so supportive towards achieving this safety performance. We are not resting on our laurels. We keep on doing safety promotions aimed at improving our safety culture. We have embarked and we continue to embark on safety promotions aimed at improving our overall safety culture. At the moment, what we have is a situation whereby everybody knows his or her safety responsibility. Everybody knows what to do at any particular point in time. A scenario whereby the safety officers no longer need to police anybody. The era of policing people at site is over.
On this side of our operations in MPDC, one of our cardinal points is to ensure that the environment is pristine and that whatever activities that we carry out, we leave the environment better than we met it. We ensure that this is done even by carrying our joint venture partners along. And ELCREST has been very supportive in the event that we have spills or spillages in our area of operations, which is very, very common because of the kind of environment that we operate in. It could be as a result of interference, sometimes it's as a result of old equipment that have failed. We are very quick to respond. We respond with the intent to ensure that the impact of that spillage is not felt too badly by the environment. This we ensure also by keeping all our equipment in good condition. We ensure that we have consumables in place so that we can control immediately we get a report of a spill. I can assure you that one of our major objectives, like I said before, is to ensure that the environment is better than we met it.
I'm the Superintendent Pollution Control for MPDC, and we're in partnership with ELCREST in OML 40. In NNPC, our target has always been goal zero. That is zero incidents, zero accidents. According to our risk matrix, we have people, so we say zero effect on people, environment, assets, and reputation. Over the years, we've had some incidents. Since then, we have improved our safety culture in the asset and company-wide. We are now more into retraining of people so that they can understand the implications of safety situations. We're also improving on our processes so that operation-wise, we'll be able to meet the target that we have set for us, which is goal zero. And we have seen a remarked improvement over this time. Our incidents have almost nilled up, but we are still working on. We are not resting on our hours. We are still working with the community, the people around us, and also trying to maintain that all our procedures are done in line with international standards of safety in the oil and gas industry.
We clearly had two unfortunate incidents, one at BRVS in which we lost 7 lives and one at Petiokum, where Thankfully, we lost no life, but there was, damage to property. So these two incidents caused significant disruptions to our safety statistic, and these are things that we never want to have reoccur. However, in the past 12 months, the various teams that operate at sites and in the office have taken steps to ensure that we work safer, we work better, and that we do have the requisite policies and SOPs in place that allow what I like to call idiot-proof working methods, which means that if you take your time to read the documents, you take your time to attend the safety briefings, you pay attention, and then you understand that safety starts with you, and you are responsible for implementing the safety procedures and measures that we have put in place, not just for yourself, but for your contractors, for your family at home, then we ensure that we are able to create a safe working environment, and we are able to return home after each workday.